Alright guys, welcome back to another podcast. Here we have Brian Kantner, David Brown, Ethan O, and myself, John Lamb. So today we'll be talking about poetry and themes within a poem. We'll talk about how to analyze them and how to break them down. And like one of our biggest tips that we have is just to read it 3 times through.
Reading it 3 times through is something that's emphasized a lot throughout the classes. Mrs. Jacobs, she always, whenever you're going through poems, she'll either read it herself once or twice and then have another student read it, or have different students read it once each time. And it really helps to read it 3 times, because then you actually like the words sink in. It's the first time you read it, you're just kind of like feeling the poem out and you're seeing what all is there. And then the second time, the third time, you can look for deeper meaning. Words that are on the page.
Each time you get more into it, because at first you're like really analyzing just what's on the surface and just the basic meaning of the poem. But then as you keep reading, you get deeper, and then you get to really see what certain phrases really contribute to the meaning of the poem.
Going on what you said, reading it 3 times, each time you're able to understand. You're used to seeing it now, and by the time you hear it 3rd time, you're used to seeing it now. Where the important information is to look at.
Yeah, like one other thing, like while you're reading it, like one really key thing that you can do is reading it out loud. But just reading it in your head, like you're not fully engaged with it. But while you're reading out loud, you can hear yourself talk about it, and that will make you think even deeper into the poem.
Actually hearing the words does make a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially like if you're saying it in a different tone or whatnot, like when you use your own voice to say what's on the page, and you can hear it in tone and in like a way. If you think the speaker is sad and read it in kind of a sad tone, then you're gonna be able to feel what that poem is more and get a better idea of what's going on.
Alright, so on to our next tip. One thing that I really disliked, but one thing that really helped me out while I was reading poetry was annotation. Annotating just really helps you like build a deep understanding of what the poem really means. Like when it comes to annotating, there's multiple ways that you can approach it. You can either underline it and come back to it later. You could even, like, I don't know, draw a picture if you wanted to, like just have like a visual to help you out. Like there's different ways to approach it.
Annotating is really useful, especially if you see like if you have an idea that a certain section early on in the poem may mean something, then you mark it and you go back to it later if you realize it did mean something later on in the poem. But I never really did annotate.
I've never been a big fan of annotating, because I've just never found it exactly like
Insightful.
Yeah, that insightful. Usually I can just get the meaning from reading through it. I get it does help for a lot of people though, because oftentimes if someone can just write down like a few keywords of what they see inside the poem and inside that certain passage, it might help you like organize your thoughts more. So personally, I don't really use it, but I can definitely see how useful it is.
For me, annotation is your friend. Being able to go back to the poem and figure out where the section is and what was it about is annotated is really helpful in understanding
Alright, so another thing that you guys could definitely do is look from the speaker's point of view. Like you have to first off, you have to figure out who the speaker is. Either it could be the author or it could be just the character who's in the poem.
I think looking from the speaker's point of view helps, because it puts, like, if you can put yourself into the speaker's shoes, then you're gonna understand what's going on and how that speaker feels, and just what metaphors could mean in the poem.
So it's first important to really figure out who the speaker is. Really, like, you want to really, when you're reading through it, like the first time, you want to really look at who the speaker is and like
Why they're speaking.
Why they're speaking, and what they are as a character. So you really just want to figure those things out first, so you can start piecing together how you would see it from their point of view.
To go along with what you both said, figure out the speaker because that can put you in pretty much what they're thinking about. They don't really sound yeah, it puts you pretty much, you're actually there and you know what the poem's gonna be about, and it's speaker talking.
Very true. Another key thing in poetry is the symbolism that can be found in it. Like, it may be hard to find at times, but the things that are used for symbolism play a huge meaning within poetry, and that's one thing that everyone has to look out for.
Yeah, there's almost always symbolism. There's normally some sort of metaphor. Like you guys remember when we read the 2 poems that were about like fearing to die or whatever, and how there was the waterfall and the waves of the ocean representing death, and those symbolism like that, it's sometimes very difficult to spot. And one thing you can always do is keep an eye out for if a word is capitalized, because if that word is capitalized, that typically means it's important, just treating it as a proper noun.
No.
We have some fans apparently.
And like I tried to
Yeah,
listen,
so
but after a while I'm like, okay,
really
dude,
one
like
of
I'm
the
not
things that carry a deeper meaning within the poem, and it usually helps to just get a general idea of what the poem is saying at first, and then trying to connect certain
That's why you read the second and third.
Yeah, the second and third time you can really connect things back to the original meaning, and yeah, it really helps to just be able to connect the certain aspects of the poem with the full meaning.
You guys love me so.
Yeah, symbolism is pretty much everything.
You can also always look for other literary devices as well, like if a speaker is using apostrophe, like if they're speaking to someone who's dead, you can assume that they're either calling for help or mourning a loss because they're speaking to a dead person.
Another thing too, like one lit device that's really useful is diction, because the words that the speaker chooses to use can either or not to use can really affect the outlook of the poem. Saying like it can also help like your visual of the speaker too. So say like if the speaker is using like simple like not really big
Lower
words,
class.
lower class words, you can see them as either young or as a lower class person, or if they're using high diction, you can say that they're a little bit like more higher class, you could say. Time period as well, yeah, definitely.
Right, but like we said in the first time, yeah, you want to use those kinds of devices to really analyze the meaning and the setting of the poem, but you don't want to focus on just the actual devices and saying, oh, they used this certain device or this certain device, or like you guys are saying, yeah, you analyze the time period and like who they are and everything. That's important, but don't focus too much on the actual just what the devices are. You want to focus on what those devices do, and that's what you want to expand into.
That's what would really help you in like a poetry essay, because a lot of times whenever you're writing poetry essays, they're like, what are the devices and how are they being used? So you want to be able to show that you know how these devices can be used and what they're used for.
So like just to break it down one more time. So our 5 main facts, or tips, you should say, is read it 3 times over. It really helps you out, gives you a deep understanding. Annotate. I know everyone hates annotating. Well, most people hate annotating. I personally do. But if
To see what's on the page.
it helps out a lot. Another one is look at the speaker's point of view. It helps you put yourself in the speaker's shoes, and it helps you just develop a better understanding. Look for symbolism. Like in poetry, symbolism is one of the biggest things that you will find in poetry, and that will definitely help you out in the long run as well.
And look for other lit devices. Because other lit devices typically just aid symbolism in poems, and they can help you get a better idea, get an idea of what the speaker was feeling.
Alright guys, that will be our third and final podcast. My name is John Lamb.
David Brown.
And we're out of here.